All right, let me get to know a bit about your NCLEX journey.
Yeah, I have I graduated 3 years ago.
Okay.
So, and I did my first exam, my NCLEX exam, almost 2 years ago. So it didn't go well. I didn't do another one. I was like a little bit depressed.
Okay.
The second one, I forgot everything about studying. The second one, I did it last 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I did the first one the first year I graduated. I didn't do well. Then I was depressed. I didn't go into studying anymore. Then I did it in the second one, I think early last year. I think early last year. It wasn't good. I didn't go back again. So I was like, the school was telling me after 3 years, they're going to cancel the whole thing. So that's why I just like booked it for a long time. I'm just like getting into it July. But I just, in my mind, I said, okay, if I'm going to go to the exam, let me try and do something. That's why it's just like, I can do it. Let me just start now. Let me see what it's going to do from now till 10th of July.
Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely. I got your information by the way, right? You said you attempted it twice, right? But now you said you attempted it 2 years back. So now that you want to attempt it, because obviously you have scheduled a particular date, what have you been using to study?
Actually, I'm using your
You would.
Yeah.
Okay. The first time that you attempted the exam and the second time that you attempted the exam, what did you use to study?
The first time I used your word, second time I didn't attempt, I didn't buy anything. I just like go on my own.
Okay. All right. Okay, I understand. Now, this is it. I'm going to walk you through how you can successfully pass the NCLEX exam in 85 questions so that when I am guiding you through the process, you understand it alongside with me and you are following through. Now, there was a point in time whereby you were thinking of what? Becoming a nurse. Now, in order to make this possible, you needed what? A nursing school to make this
Yeah.
possible. Now,
Mhm.
after the nursing school, you also need what? To pass the NCLEX exam in order to what? Become
A
the nurse.
nurse.
Now, there are two things that will make you to become a nurse, right? Nursing school plus the NCLEX equal what? Becoming a nurse. Now, but the problem is a lot of students are still stuck in this point, thinking like a nursing school student, when you should be thinking like what? A nurse, the way NCLEX wants you to think. Now, nursing school offer you knowledge-based question, right? NCLEX offer you practice-based question. When you are answering question in nursing school, it's all about knowledge. Do you know the sign and symptom related to hypertension? Do you know the kind of medication used for hypertension? Those are knowledge-based questions. NCLEX don't ask you, do you know the kind of medication used for hypertension? NCLEX will give you a particular medication, even tell you that that medication is used for hypertension, but they want you to safely administer that medication. It might be related to the adverse effect. It might be related to contraindication. It might be related to specific population. But NCLEX just want to see that you are a safe nurse, right? You see the difference between NCLEX and nursing school. Now, this is it. NCLEX understand one thing about you. NCLEX know you have every nursing school knowledge in order to show that you can practice and also show that what you are a safe nurse. Now, the aspect of practice, a lot of students don't know this. Like, no, you started nursing school, you got into your semester one, right? Now,
Mhm.
your semester one, they told you every the courses you are going to be taking that semester. Now, if you know each like in each in every semester, if you know the courses you are going to be taking, why is it that most students don't pay attention to what is on the NCLEX as well too? Because the NCLEX is another journey on its own, not as nursing school, because you've done all the work you need to do in nursing school. But the NCLEX now is a different journey. You need to understand it the same way you understand what nursing school. So NCLEX don't have courses to offer you. Instead, NCLEX have practice area to offer you. You need to understand, when you are in nursing school, you are a student. When you are attempting the NCLEX exam, you are a nurse. But the only difference between this nurse that you are on the NCLEX exam and the actual nurse in the nursing field is that this nurse is licensed. You are trying to what? Get to have what? The license. So nursing school will give you the ability to have every knowledge in order to attempt the NCLEX exam that will give you that pass result. And this pass result will be sent to your board of nursing that will qualify you to become what? A nurse. Now you need to understand the aspect of practice and safety, because that's what the NCLEX is all about. NCLEX is come and show us that you can practice as a nurse and come and show us that you are a safe nurse. So what are the practice area? That is what you want to know. You cannot just get into semester 1 in nursing school and start looking all over the place. You want to find out what are the courses you are doing. Same with the NCLEX. Since they said you need to know the practice area, you need to find out what are the practice area. Now, the practice area, we have what? 8 client need, right? This practice area gave us what? A total content of, because you are taking the PN exam, so we have 150 content. Now, let me tell you something. The difference between NCLEX-PN and NCLEX-RN is that NCLEX-PN, according to the examiner, you don't require too much critical thinking, right? So far, so good. I've done analysis of more than 1,000 questions, right, related to PN, RN, and I've seen this a lot. Right. It's always a straightforward question that involve more of knowledge than thinking, right? But RN more of critical thinking, right, than knowledge-based question, right? So that is how it works. So if you ask me, the exam that one should find easy to pass, I will tell you the PN exam. Right, in a sense that all you just need to do, you can read, cram, and then pass that particular exam in as much you go through the 150 content. So now we know the content. Now the next part is to understand what aspect of safety is the NCLEX trying to test us. Now the aspect of safety is related to what? The SIS concept, because this is how NCLEX tests every question on the exam. So if NCLEX is testing your number one question, is related to one of these concepts. And we have 6 of these concepts. Let me list them for you. We have caring, we have clinical judgment, we have culture and spirituality, we have nursing process, we have communication and documentation, we have teaching and learning. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 concepts. So if NCLEX is deciding to test you on hypertension, the examiner will start thinking, which of these concepts should it test you related to hypertension? She might decide to test you related to teaching. She might decide to test you related to communication and documentation. She can decide to test you related to a specific nursing process, cultural and spirituality, clinical judgment, or what? Caring. So the moment you understand how these 6 concepts work, any question on the NCLEX exam, in as much you can be able to identify the content, you have the ability to answer that question 100%. So NCLEX is not difficult. It's just that we miss out on what? The foundational knowledge that help us to answer any question. NCLEX is not hard. NCLEX is just student way of thinking about it, or student approach towards it. Because you cannot finish nursing school and the next thing you are trying to get is question bank. Question bank will not help you, right? Let me tell you,
Yeah.
getting question bank is just like swimming, and when you don't really know if you can swim. Because some people, if they want to swim right now, they will say, oh, that water is too much, I cannot get into it. Some people will say, oh, try. Now you decide to try, you might meet struggle at the end of the day. Some people might survive it, some people might not survive it. That is how it is, trying to just finish nursing school and getting a question bank. But guess what? If you finish nursing school, you try to what? Understand the NCLEX, right? First, you have
Yeah.
an idea of the NCLEX. That way, if you are navigating any question bank, you are going to easily what? Pass the exam. Because this is a great knowledge for you when you are trying to like answer any question bank. Now, what are the 2 things you need to pass the NCLEX exam? It's always these things. You need the content, and you need to know how the NCLEX write the question. This way, it gives you what? Understanding. That's the reason why for the past 2 years, I always used to tell students, there are 3 ways to pass the exam. 1, content. All these 3 things you must meet up. knowing how the NCLEX write the question and trying to what understand it. That way,
Understand it.
if you can know these three things, trust me, I've seen a particular student who failed the NCLEX exam 14 times. This was how I walked her through this same system, and she ended up what passing the exam in 86 questions. So it's possible to pass the exam, right? If a particular student who failed 14 times failed, a particular student who failed 7 times gave up for 10 years and came back in my program and also passed in 85 questions. Trust me, it's not difficult. I've seen people that don't know as much. Like today, right? Someone in my program passed the RN exam in 85 question, right? She's
Yeah.
from Indian, right? So I mean, how much English do Indian people know? She asks me different questions all the time. Please explain this to me. Please explain this to me. Please explain this to me. If I am new in coaching, I will be thinking maybe she's going to struggle with passing the exam. But I know that I've given her everything she needs in order to pass. She took the NCLEX exam today. She sent me the result and said she passed. Right. So passing is not difficult. You just need to understand the process and you are ready to do the work. Right. One, you must be ready to study because we have three phases when you are trying to prepare for your exam. One, the phase of understanding the NCLEX, the phase of planning, and the last phase, study. A lot of students don't do this. They don't do this. They just jump straight to studying. Most students don't even plan for themselves. They allow the program to plan in the sense that most programs have what? Study schedule, and they follow it through without not even understanding what they are doing. They just answer question, go on the NCLEX exam, and they are lost. They are not like, I don't know what the examiner is testing me. I don't know how to answer this question. Every answer look the same because you don't understand the NCLEX. Right. Every NCLEX question have three parts, right?
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
body, the stem, and lastly, the answer keys. This is how NCLEX wants students to understand because the body of the question tests you on a specific content. So if I'm seeing my NCLEX question like this, the first thing I'm looking for is the body of the question because the body of the question will tell me the content examiner is testing. Remember, I told you PN have what? 150 content. So in my course program, within 30 days, we are going to cover what? This content. Now, when you cover this content, when you go on the NCLEX exam, you just need to look for the body of the question and be able to identify the content. That way, you will be remembering that, oh, I said you should do this when you see this kind of question. This is how you should answer it. That way, you can apply the knowledge. Now, you understand what the examiner is asking so that you can apply it related to that specific content. And the answer key, I'm going to guide you because there are two ways NCLEX write the answer keys, right? One, they write it in the form of 70%, 100% correct, right? Leaving the incorrect answer to be 30% wrong. Now, let me give you example right now. Like now, the question from here can be correct, right? And then this area will be the one that is wrong and the remaining one will be correct. So this is the 70% that is correct, but this is the 30% what that is incorrect in the question. Now, let me give you an example. This is nursing school question. This is NCLEX question. Testing blood transfusion, right? Also, this is also testing blood transfusion. Now, answer one is verify with another nurse, right? Answer one here is verify with another nurse using client room number and ID band. Right, so it has answer 2, it has answer 3, it has answer 4, same here, 2, 3, and 4. Now, is this answer correct? Verify with another nurse related to blood transfusion. Is that correct?
No.
Why?
Can you repeat what you said now?
I said, is this answer correct related to blood transfusion? Is it correct related to blood transfusion? Do we verify with another nurse related to blood transfusion?
Yes.
Okay. Is this answer also correct related to blood transfusion? Verify with another nurse using the client room number and ID band. Is that correct related to blood transfusion?
No.
Why?
Because of the room number, the patient might be changed to another room number, another room.
All right, that is great. You can see the 30% that make the answer incorrect. Now, that is the difference between nursing school question and NCLEX question. This is how NCLEX write the answers. So when you are going on the NCLEX exam to read your answer, you are not trying to look for what is correct, because a lot of students look for what is correct and just select the answer blindly and move on. Guess what? The same verify with another nurse is still the same verify with another nurse that is here. Now, most students will just pay attention to this short statement and they will select it as the answer and go and move on. Now they will come back from the exam and be screaming and crying. Why did they fail? Why? Because they don't know that this is how NCLEX write the question. They say, "Boy, I understand most of the question." I've seen a particular student who told me, "I understand every question that they give to me. I'm surprised why I fail." At that point, trust me, our confidence will be will be very low, because obviously someone that is saying boldly that she understands every question and she's surprised why she failed. Now, guess what? When I did a 1 hour session with her to see what she did, because now somebody came to me and told me she understands all the questions, she don't know how she feel. Right. It's not about now making her to understand the NCLEX first. Instead, I need to see how she answered question on the exam. So I gave her NCLEX past question, right? That she should answer it on Zoom session. And then when she was answering the question, she was answering them incorrectly. And she was like, wow. So this is how NCLEX work. Wow. Wow. I'm telling you the truth. That lady paid for my program, and she did not even complete the program before she felt ready, because she was good, but the problem is that she did not know how the NCLEX work. Now, the moment she knew how she work, within 2 weeks she was ready. I was even the one telling her that, be patient, let's complete this. She said she already know the problem. She took the NCLEX exam and she passed PN exam as well too. Right, currently she's doing a bridge program for
All
RN.
right.
So yeah, so that is it. Most of the time we fail because of specific reason, and it's always those three things, as I said: the content, knowing how the NCLEX write the question, and understanding it. The moment you can get these three things in place, passing become what is like. Now most students will not even know that the room number is there, because a lot of students have short span. They don't completely read something, they just want to see what is correct, and that is it. Right. And that is the 30%. Yes, we use ID band, we verify with another nurse. But what is making this O answer incorrect is the room number. But this is correct because there's nothing attached to it that is making us feel it's incorrect. So this is how nursing school write the question. This is how what NCLEX write the question. Right. So these are basic things you definitely need to do. Now, the content, right? We focus on the 5 key areas. We give you on the, if it is RON, the 5 key area on the RON exam give you 73%, but for PN, the 5 key area give you 71%, which is also good based on the exam calculation, because NCLEX RN pass rate is 0.00, but PN pass rate is negative 0.18. So if RN is here and they be below the passing standard year, PN need to be below here to be below the passing standard. So it makes sense. So they really want you guys to pass the exam. So passing the exam should not be difficult. Now when you know the content, now when you now know how the NCLEX write the question, and I will give you the ability to understand the question. Right. So you need the content, knowing how the NCLEX write the question. So this is what we do. I have my program already that have everything you need to know. The content, once you go through the video lesson, the PDFs, you are going to get every content knowledge. And then after every 3 session, I'm going to definitely be testing you, right, to make sure that you are meeting what the 75 to 95% passing standard. And once you do this all throughout 30 days, I can 100% guarantee you that you are going to what pass the NCLEX exam successfully, right? So yes, the 5 key areas is what we are going to be focusing on, and as well too, we are going to also focus on what charts, bow tie, and as well too case study, right? So once you go through 3 sessions, right, and you are done, I give you question. That way I'm going to be able to see what you know and what you don't know. So what you don't know, I'm going to put them together, right? And I will ask you to come on Zoom like this, and then I'm going to explain them. So that way you are always gaining what? Everything, right?
Okay.
You're always gaining everything you need to gain, and I can guarantee you, if you follow through, you are definitely going to pass the exam. Now let me